Hi, good morning. I'm Dr. Huang. Today, we are going to conduct the experiment to determine the molecular weight of benzoic acid by using the freezing point depression method. As we know, the freezing point of a solution is always lower than the freezing point of the pure solvent. The amplitude of the depression depends on the molality of the solution. In this experiment, lauric acid is our solvent, benzoic acid will be the solute. Before we start our experiment, let me put on my goggles and the lab coat. I don't want my hands touch the chemicals, so I will put on the gloves as well. Are you ready for the experiment? Let's see what instruments, glassware, and chemicals we have. This is what we have. A stand, hot plate, 2 beakers. The lab manager is so nice. She already weighed out the chemicals we need. One test tube has pure lauric acid. This has 8.000 grams of lauric acid inside the test tube. The other one is a benzoic acid lauric acid mixture. The lab manager, Carla, told me that the mass of the benzoic acid is 1.000 grams. The mass of the lauric acid is 8.000 grams. Make sure you put on the numbers in the notebook. We also have a temperature probe, and we have LabQuest devices to record the temperature during our process. Depending on which group you are in, you can have one of the 2 different types of LabQuest devices. One is LabQuest 3. The other one is LabQuest 2. Let's turn on the LabQuest 3. LabQuest 3 is ready. This is what you see on the screen. You will not see anything. When I plug in the temperature probe, this is the connection of the temperature probe. There are 2 different kind of connections for the LabQuest device. This kind or this kind. We should use the one on the left side of the device. You will hear a click when it is plugged in. I put the stand in front of me, make sure I'm comfortable with where it is. Then put the hot plate on top of the stand. And make sure you plug into the electrical outlet. As you can see here, this green light is on, that indicates it has electricity. The next step is we're going to have some water for this beaker. We want to get the chemicals immersed. From this beaker, you can see that we need about 400 milliliters of water. I had to adjust the test tube so the chemicals will be immersed. Now I'm going to turn on the heat. The lauric acid can be melted. Then I'm going to insert the temperature probe into the test tube so I can measure the temperature of the lauric acid inside. Now let me turn on the heat, which is the dial on the right. I want this to be melted as fast as possible, so I turn to 10. When I'm waiting, I will set up the LabQuest device for data collection. If you click this area, you can set up the total collection time. To make sure I have enough time to collect the data from the beginning to the end, I will set up my time to 30 minutes. If it doesn't take 30 minutes, I'm going to stop it when time is up. I want that every second I get a sample, 60 samples per minute, sorry. So let me click done, then OK. Before we use the temperature probe and the LabQuest to collect data, I want to make sure it's working properly. Because nobody wants to spend 30 minutes to collect the data and all in a sudden they realize that the device is not working. It happened before, so I want to show you how to do this test before you use it to collect data. As we know, our body temperature is higher than the room temperature. Therefore, if you use your hand to hold the temperature probe, the temperature reading should rise. If it's rising, that means the device is working properly. If it's not, there must be something wrong. Either the temperature probe or the LabQuest. Good luck. When the temperature reaches about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, we can stop heating, take out the test tube, proceed to the next step. We will lift the test tube. We get a cup of cold water. If you want the heat transfer to be fast and to be homogeneous, you can still use the hot plate, but don't turn on the heat. Just let it stir. We will lower down the test tube into the cold water. Do not forget to start to collect the data. If you press this green button, it will start automatically. I will choose store, so the old data is still saved. At the same time, you want to use the temperature probe to stir, and then the temperature will be homogeneous everywhere. Okay, you can see that the temperature drops sharply. When it reaches the melting point or freezing point, you will see a flat line. As we can see here, you see a flat region, this region, but you do not stop the experiment until the temperature drops again. Okay, you don't stop at this moment. You have to continue until you see a drop of the temperature. Let's look at the graph first. We can clearly see that the temperature does drop after the melting point or freezing point. At this point, the experiment is done. It took us about less than 15 minutes. And if you look at the test tube, it's completely solidified. So the experiment is successful. The next step is we will repeat the same procedure for the benzoic acid, lauric acid mixture. I'm not going to show them here because the steps are exactly the same. Now what I'm going to do is I will show you how to export the data into a USB drive. What I do is I will click File, Export, not Save. Export. This reminds us we need to insert USB flash drive. Okay, let me get one. This is a USB flash drive. On the left side, you can see some USB port. Can you see that? So this is a USB port. Let's see what is happening here. Now the device recognizes the USB drive. We can see a lot of files and folders. All we need to do right now is we just click here. So then we need to give a name. You can name whatever you want, and then maybe put down your name. I will put on my name, Huang, H-U-A-N-G. Oh, I'm sorry, the wrong spelling. But anyway, I will name this way. And then you put down your experiment number. experiment. I don't remember the experiment number. Experiment maybe 4. I click done. Click OK. To make sure the file is already saved, what you do, you unplug the USB drive, then insert into a computer, say if you can find the file or not. If you don't, you come back and export again. Good luck.